Hello Year 7s, welcome to lesson number 11. Today we're going to be looking at Lightly Row, and this is going to be the piece that you're going to be playing for your assessment. So I'm really excited to go through this piece with you. We're going to make sure that you're getting everything working really well, that your technique is feeling really good, that you're getting really good sound out, and that we can get this sounding really, really great. So I hope you're looking forward to it. But before we start playing, let's just, as usual, get ourselves nice and warmed up in our bodies with a bit of a stretch. Okay, so make sure first of all that you're sat really well on your chair. Make sure you're not slouching back, but that you're sat with a straight back and slightly towards the edge of your chair. You want to have both feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart, and a nice straight back, and have your shoulders relaxed. Okay, now before our stretches, we're just going to do a few nice relaxing breaths to get started. So here we go. So if you just take a really big deep breath in with me and push it out. Fantastic. And again, nice deep breath, really fill up your lungs. Careful not to lift your shoulders and let the air out. Lovely. Couple more times, nice big breath. Taking as much air as you possibly can. Fill up those lungs and out. And one last time, nice deep breath. Fantastic. Good. All right, let's stretch our arms up to the ceiling. Wiggle those fingers. You see my fingers wiggling. Stretch those arms up, careful not to lift your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Try and keep them relaxed. Good. Now stretch over to the left. Take a nice deep breath. And now over to the right. And again, nice deep breath. Oh, fantastic. Feels nice. Good. Roll those shoulders back a few times. And forwards. Good. All right. Now we're going to stretch out the muscles at the top of our back. So if you hold your arm out in front of you, then bring it over to the left and hold it here. Again, making sure your shoulder isn't coming up like this. Just try and keep it low. Good. And you should feel a stretch in the back in your shoulders. Really nice stretch, this one. Good. And just let that relax. Good. And then we're going to do the same. So first of all, holding your other arm out, pull it across your body. And again, making sure we don't want our shoulders coming up like this, otherwise it really sort of makes the muscles feel a bit tense. So just nice and relaxed. Good. And then relax it. Very nice. Stretch your wrists out, and now we're going to do my new favorite thing, the hand massage. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the right hand. I want you to take your left hand and place it in the palm, and we're just going to sort of little massage here, and then we're going to go along the fingers just one at a time. It's not often we sort of take care of our hands like this, so it's a nice opportunity to do it. Lovely. And now we go over to the other hand, starting with the palm of the hand and then along all the fingers. Lovely. Good. Great. Okay, good. I hope you're feeling ready. Just shake that out a little bit. Good. And now we can get ready with our playing warm-up. So if you could all please take your trumpets. Again, making sure, just take this opportunity to check your posture. Remember, we need to be getting all of these things really ready. They should just be part of your sort of checklist, if you like. Whenever you're playing, always just thinking, right, hold on, am I sat properly? If I'm not, my breathing isn't going to work, and then my sound quality won't be very nice. You know, we've got to check all of these things are working. So check your posture again. I'm just going to go to the side a little bit. So you can see I've got my nice straight back here. Lovely. And we're going to do some playing. Okay, so first of all, here's our pulse. Sort of gentle pulse for today. Everybody just tap your foot along with me so you can feel the beat. Good. And now I want you to copy what I play. So me, first of all, I'm going to start on G today. Open. Here we go. So that was G, E, G. Your turn. 3, 4. Lovely. Me again. So that was F, D, F. Now your turn. Lovely. So that was E, C, E. Now your turn. Lovely. Now me again. So a slightly longer one this time, going from C up to G in a stepwise motion. So doing each note in between. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, your turn. Lovely. Now let's do the same thing, but the other way around. So we're going to start on G, go down to C, and then back up. So I'll play it first of all. Now your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Fantastic. Okay, let's just do a couple more now. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. My turn. So that was G, E, C, E, G. Your turn. Lovely. And last one. Your turn. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. So you might notice that as you're playing music that gets more challenging, as you are improving your instruments, we want to sort of match the warm-up with that as well. So we can just make sure you're always trying to achieve as high a standard as you possibly can. Good. So hopefully you're feeling nice and warmed up. So I'm just going to show you the music now for this piece, Lightly Row. Okay, so let's start off just having a look at it. So as we can see, we've got this word at the beginning, andante. Okay, andante, an Italian term, as with a lot of information we get given in music, a lot of it is in Italian. And andante means at a walking pace. Okay, so a nice, gentle, leisurely walking pace, not a London rush hour trying to get onto the tube pace, but just a nice afternoon stroll in the sun. Okay, so andante, nice and gentle. Now our time signature here is 4/4, meaning we have 4 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, we've got a P here, piano, again another Italian word, which means softly. So that's referring to our dynamics. That means how loudly or quietly we're playing. P for piano is softly, so we play it quietly here. Dolce, another Italian word, meaning sweetly, and it tells us here actually anyway. But yeah, dolce, sweetly. So we're nice and gentle, we're piano and we're playing sweetly. So it's all a very sort of gentle piece, this one. Okay, now as you can see, we've got some slurs here as well. So slur, when we're playing the trumpet, that means that we don't re-articulate the note with our tongue. We don't play it again, we hold the breath and go on to the next note. So this would be a slur, for example. Those first 2 notes were slurred. If I was going to tongue them, so if this slur, this line wasn't here, it would sound like this. Okay, so hopefully you can tell the difference there. And whenever we see a slur here, it means you just keep the air going, you don't use the tongue. But then when it's not slurred, so for example on this note, then you do use the tongue. Okay, so we've got lots of slurs in this piece, so we've really got to pay particular attention to that detail. Now again, you'll see this a lot in trumpet music. We've got these ticks here, and that means it's an opportunity for us to take a breath. Okay, so whenever you see this tick, make sure you're taking a breath, as well as obviously at the very start of the piece. If you don't take a breath, can't play any notes. Good. All right, so let's get started with step number 1 of our practice method, and that is finding the rhythms. Okay, that's finding the rhythms. So if we've got a gentle pace, about this for our tempo, now this is our crotchet beat. Okay, everybody just sort of tap your foot along with me. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So remembering it's always essential to find that pulse before you start playing. Okay. All right, so let's get started. So first 2 bars to begin with, we've got 2 crotchets, ta, ta, and then we've got a minim, 2 beats, 2. Bar 2, we've got the same thing, ta, ta, 2. Okay, so those first 2 bars, let's do them together. Ready? 3, 4, ta, ta, 2, ta, ta, 2. Great. And now bars 3 and 4. So if we look at bar 3, we've got 4 crotchets, ta, 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 and then crotchet, crotchet, minim, ta, ta, 2. Okay, so bars 3 and 4, let's do that all together. 3, 4, ta, 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 2. Fantastic. All right, let's just put that all together and do the first line. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, 2, ta, ta, 2, ta, 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 2. Good. Hopefully you noticed I took my breath there. Okay, so it's important just to get into the habit of doing that, even when you're just singing or saying the rhythms or the notes, just so once you're playing, it's just part of it. Okay, lovely. Let's now look at the second line, still just looking at the rhythms. So again, we've got ta, ta, 2, ta, ta, 2, and then we've got ta, 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 ta. Then in this 4th bar of this line, we've got a dotted minim. Okay, so remembering that when we have a dot to the right hand side of a note, not underneath a note, if it's underneath a note, that means it's staccato, which we play shortly, but if it's to the right hand side of the note, that means we, oh, excuse me, means we add on half the value of that note. Okay, so we've got a minim, 2 beats, plus the dot, so half of a minim is 1 beat, 2 plus 1, simple maths is 3. So we've got 3 beats here with this note. Okay, and the Kodály sound for this, as you know, is 3. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Bars 3 and 4. We've got ta, 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 3. And then we've got a crotchet rest at the end of the bar. Okay, so let's do that second line all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, 2, ta, ta, 2, ta, 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 3. Rest. Fantastic. All right, let's look at the third line. We've got, again, a lot of crotchets. So we've got ta, 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 ta. All together, third line. Ta, 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 ta. Rest. Fantastic. And now looking at that 4th and final line, if you have a look, it's almost the same as that first line, not quite, but it's very similar. So again, we've got ta, ta, two, ta, ta, two, and then we've got ta, 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 ta. So we've got this semi-breathe, is what we call this last note, lasting for 4 beats. So we've just got to make sure we really hold it, especially with the trumpet, make sure you've got plenty of air and you're really holding that note for 4 beats. Okay, good. All right, well done, everyone. So that was step number 1, just figuring out our rhythms. Now we're ready for step number 2, which is just to go over the note names. Okay, so let's take this again a line at a time. So if we have a look at this first bar, the very first note we've got here, we know this is G. Okay, you know this by now as well, because remember the cross in the middle of the treble clef here, the note, the G treble clef, the note that lands there is G. Okay, so we start with G. Now we don't go in a stepwise motion. We're not going to the next note. We're actually skipping F and we're going straight to E. Okay, so we've got G, E, E. Now in the next bar, we're in the bottom space here. So we know that must be F. So, and again, we're skipping E and we're going down to D. Okay, so we've got F, D, D. Okay, so these first 2 bars, we've got G, E, E, F, D, D. Okay, now I'm just going to do that as well. We're going to sort of do a 2-for-1 deal here, where I'm also going to now sing and mime it. Okay, so we've got from the first 2 bars, here we go. G, E, E, F, D, D. Fantastic. Now looking at the 3rd and 4th bars, we've got that bottom C. We know it's bottom C because it's below the stave and it's got a line through it. And then we are now going up in a stepwise motion. So we're doing every note that we know. We've got C, D, E, F, G, G, G. Okay, and with the vowels, we've got C, D, E, F, G, G, G. Okay, good. So let's do that whole first line together now, singing and miming. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, E, E, F, D, D, C, D, E, F, G, G, G. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Good. Now looking at the second line, again, we've got G, E, E, F, D, D. It's the same as that first line, but then the 3rd and 4th bars are slightly different. We've got C, E, G, G, E. So we don't have D and we don't have F this time. Okay, good. Let's just have a go at that whole second line now with the vowels as well. Okay, good. 1, 2, second line. G, E, E, F, D, D, C, E, G, G, E. Fantastic, well done, everyone. Now, looking at the 3rd line, we're starting, this note just sits just below the stave, so we know it must be D. Okay, so we're starting with D and we've got 4 Ds in a row, haven't we? So we've got D, 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 and then we've got D, we go up 1 more to E and then 1 more to F. So D, E, F. And then the next bar, we're on the bottom line, 1 note above D, we've got E here. So we've got E, 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 and then we're going up the steps, E, F, G. Okay, so quite similar, these bars, except this one, the 3rd and 4th bars are all 1 note higher. Okay, so let's do this now, singing and miming this 3rd line, remembering starting on D, 1 and 3. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 E, F, E, 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 F, G. Fantastic. And now this 4th line, we've got this G, E, E pattern, followed by F, E, D, and then we end with C, jumping up to E, jumping up to G, G and back down to C. So these last two bars, we've got C, E, G, G, C. Okay, let's do that fourth line all together, singing and miming. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, E, E, F, D, D, C, E, G, G, C. Good. Okay, well done, everyone. I'm sure by this point you've heard quite enough of me singing, and now we can get ready to do some playing. If at this point you're thinking, I'm not quite ready to play this, then just pause and spend a bit more time practicing those first 3 practice steps. We sort of merged step 2 and 3 together today, but again, as I was saying earlier, as you improve, it's worth, you can do things like that. You can get a bit more creative with your practice. Okay, so if you're not ready to start playing, then just go over the practice steps, just check your rhythm, check that you know all of the note names and the vowels. You should know the vowels by now, but a quick recap. Obviously, bottom C is open. D is 1 and 3, E is 1 and 2, F is just the first valve, and then G is open again. Okay, now the thing to look out for in particular in this piece is that we don't always play in this stepwise motion. Stepwise being, if you go up a set of stairs, you go step by step, don't you? And that's the thing. Stepwise means we go note by note, for example, in this bar. But in the piece, we don't always go in stepwise. We're going from G skipping down to E, F skipping down to D. At the end here, we've got C skipping up to E, skipping up to G, and then all the way back down to C. We're not taking it step by step anymore. So just make sure you're really ready to start playing. Good. Okay, so that being said, let's get started, and we'll just again do a line at a time with the playing. Now I want you to really remember the details we talked about at the very start. Piano, so softly and sweetly. So really thinking about your sound quality. Just a reminder that this is the piece you will be doing your assessment. You'll be playing for your assessment. Okay, so really going to be listening out for your sound quality, checking that it sounds really good, checking that your breathing is really good. And again, that helps the sound quality, checking that your posture is good, your general technique is good, checking that you're paying attention to the details. So your sort of interpretation of the piece. So making sure the tempo is right, that you're playing it along in time with the backing track, checking that you are playing softly at piano. Okay, so I know it feels like there's a lot to think about, but actually I think you're all hopefully at the stage where you're really ready for this now. Okay, so let's play this first line together. I'll play it first of all, and then I'll repeat it, and I'd like you to join me. So here we go, finding the pulse. Tap along with me for the pulse. Okay, so I'll play the first line first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Now I'll play the second line. Your turn. Fantastic. Now the third line, I'll play it first. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Now the fourth line, I'll play it first. 1, 2, 3, 4. your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Hopefully you're feeling really confident with playing this now. And again, if you're not, just pause it and just take it one line at a time. Okay, there's no rush to try and get it all done in one go. So just break it up a bit. Just do it 2 bars at a time and then a line at a time and so on. Just remember as well the details of the slurs as well. So we're not tonguing, not using our tongue to produce every note. We're just keeping the air going. Fantastic, good. Okay, so let's have a go at doing this with the backing track. Okay, and as you can see at the end, it says wait for the intro and play again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with you the first time and then I'm going to leave it the second time for you to join your own, but I will count you in. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a go at this and I will count you in. Instruments at the ready, making sure you're sat or stood with a really good posture. Here goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. I'm sure it's sounding fantastic. So just remember that this is the piece that you're going to be playing for your assessment. And in the next video, I'm going to be going through it again, but we're going to be preparing you then for your assessment, which will happen at the end of the video. Okay, so just remember a few things to think about. Now, in the assessment, there are sort of 3 categories. There is accuracy, so literally just making sure all of the right notes are happening. Okay, so just remind yourself that you know exactly what valves are going down, make sure they're going down really swiftly, that we're not having any sort of half valves, or that your fingertips aren't sort of going over the edge of the valves like this, because that looks really sloppy and it's harder to play. So making sure always fingertips on the valves so that you've got the right valves going down, that you've got the rhythm exactly correctly, but if you're following the practice steps, then I'm sure all of that is going to be in a really good place. Now, you're also, one of the categories is interpretation. So that is your dynamics, your tempo, making sure that you're playing with the right style, that it is dolce, that it is sweetly. Okay, so again, really remembering that if we have a really good breath, it helps us play with a really beautiful sound. So just have a think about that when you're practicing. And then the last category is technique. So make sure that we're buzzing really nicely. Again, think about that sound quality, that you're sat or stood with a really good posture, that you're holding your trumpet up and that you've not got your arms stuck to your side and we're not sort of crouched down like this. So just checking in with all of those things when you're practicing. Okay, so thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you next time for a continuation of this piece as part of your assessment. Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye.